Greetings, Malifaux fans. This is Crazy Carl from Weird Forums, back with another Malifaux video battle report. Today it was a 35 Soulstones scrap versus my good opponent, Twisted Metal from the Weird Forums, playing Kirai, with me playing Colette. We had a couple people request this game, and I was looking forward to it, and at the same time not looking forward to it, because my brain was probably going to explode by the end of it with all the switching around of models and all that. But it did promise to be a very interesting game. So here you can see our table setup, very wide open, lot of different charge and firing lanes. However, there's a lot of fences and buildings and stuff to get in the way. So there's lots of stuff that can block line of sight, lots of obscuring terrain. So very cool setup, and I was really looking forward to playing on this board. Chris said he also liked it a lot too, so especially as Kirai. I definitely think he had a bit of an advantage on this board. So I was playing Colette along with Cassandra, Performer and Mannequin, Angelica, 2 Quarry free, which you can see there, and then I had Power Ritual, which was announced, and Breakthrough, which was unannounced. We had Shared Slaughter, so that was going to be a pretty... We were not really playing to our strengths here. And I had my... yeah, you can see there I had my Mannequin, or my Performer and Cassandra deployed on the other half of the board, so I kind of switched them up because I was deploying first, and I had the Angelica to possibly switch things around if I needed to. So, but I ended up not needing to do that. Chris, on the other hand, was playing Kirai with the 5 Station, an Insidious Madness, Jackdaw, Lost Love, and a Hanged. He had Kill Protege announced on Cassandra, and he had Hid Bodyguard and Kirai, so a very good choice. So there you can see I advanced up on the first turn with a couple models just to kind of get into position. Chris moved up a Station along with the Hanged. So with that Station being... Chris also moved up a couple other models too. He was going for an out-activation plan, which you can do pretty easily when you're Kirai because you have so many cheap models. So I was pretty much forced into waiting until a situation where I could alpha strike a model and then get away without getting killed. So that's really much what I did. I wasn't able to do that straight up, but I was able to make a core free duet, make it pretty tough to kill. I was able to give it +2 willpower, and then give it use Soulstone. Moved up the board. Chris had a chance to summon something at it, but he didn't want to do that because it might die to something else. So I moved it up, and I moved Cassandra up to it, and Cassandra killed off a pair of Station, actually, which was pretty strong for me. There you can see I formed up the duet, and I actually blipped them back with Colette, with Disappearing Act, or not, sorry, with Illusionist and things like that. So that worked out really, really well for me. Then Chris moved up an Insidious Madness, which you're not going to see a picture of because I killed it. I actually used a bunch of Soulstones to make sure I was able to use Discharge Soulstone to blow it up because I didn't want to give Chris an easy target for blipping up into the Spirit World. So you'll see there that Chris summoned a Station after all, or not, sorry, a Shikome after all of that. He was down quite a few models after this. He was down a pair of Station plus the pair I killed plus Insidious Madness. So not a great start for Chris on turn 1. His Shikome did not a whole lot to my duet because my duet was on 10 willpower, being next to Colette with its +2 from before it merged together. So as it was, he wasn't able to do much to me. Here you see on the next turn, I pretty much did not much. Chris won initiative, and he was able to denial of Zanzu despite the plus on my resist flip on my core free duet, which meant that my core free duet was unable to move, which is not good for the duet. The duet really wants to be able to do stuff. So I basically took this turn to just sit back and not really do anything. I consolidated my position to make sure he couldn't kill me off, and that was pretty much that. Kind of a disappointment, not really what you want to be doing, and I felt bad not being able to get any points, but it is what I guess it was what it was. I did, however, summon a Dove, which I was able to use to kind of protect Cassandra and the duet in later turns if I needed to. Worked out pretty well. Chris moved his guys up the board. Since he was playing a killing-based game and he had no objective grabbers, or no normal objective type missions, he was just going for killing me. So he was trying to consolidate his position, make sure he had good lines of sight for summoning and going into the Spirit World to make sure he had escape routes and stuff like that. I forgot to mention, I already powered 2 of the corners, which is pretty obvious turn 1, not hard to do, but getting the other 2 is going to prove pretty difficult because I had not a lot of places to go. So, that Shikome got away, and with the duet not being able to chase it, he was able to swirl it around. He got Jackdaw out pretty open and exposed, but he pulled a couple of Soulstones off of me by hanging on me a couple times, which is kind of unfortunate. But going into future turns, I think it was 2 turns in a row that Chris won initiative, and he was able to just do damage to me with with Jackdaw and run him away before I could do anything about it. But turn 4 was really the big turning point of the game. Chris won initiative again, as I mentioned, and this is about my setup when that happened. Chris fired off a couple Hangman's Knot at Colette and hit a Black Joker on the defense on the damage flip because he was on a double negative. So that meant I gained control of Jackdaw for the turn. I walked Jackdaw over to Colette with 2 walk actions, and Colette Magician's dueled him, and I had him just die. So I got a Soulstone from that. I then used his slow to die action to take a couple wounds off of the Hanged, which you can see there, and then gained a Soulstone. So it was a really, really, really powerful turn for me. Had that not happened, I would have been down a couple cards, but I had a 12 of tomes in my hand, and I hadn't flipped many tomes, so I was more than likely going to be able to mannequin replacement him, but that just kind of sped it up, made it a lot easier for me. So Chris had, in the meantime, re-evaluated his prey on the Shikome. We weren't sure if you can do that when you have prey. I just said to do it because we couldn't figure out any reason why he wouldn't be able to. So he switched it from the core free duet to Cassandra because he needed to get some points. And as it was, I was able to just run around. Like, the Shikome just couldn't keep up with Cassandra because I was able to blip her around and keep her safe when I wanted to. So I was playing a big points denial game. This game I was playing, you know, going for the companion chains where I could just kill off a model at a time. In turn 5, after I killed off Jackdaw, I was able to boomerang up my core free duet and pull off an orchestral crescendo, which put a big dent in his crew, which was not great for him. He ended up losing Lost Love and a station. Got a station from Lost Love, I guess, so it was really, he just lost Lost Love, but that's still a pretty big loss for the Kirai player. It's that safety net that they don't have anymore. And moving on, I was just able to surround Chris. I got a bunch of models around him and just took things out one by one. I had Cassandra fire off a couple of breathe fires, which did some wounds. I had the core free duet kill off a couple models. Chris had summoned Icaro at one point, which is how he swirled up Jackdaw, but it just really wasn't enough. The problem with Icaro being swirled away is Icaro's reasonably slow. I mean, he's only movement 5, only 5, so he wasn't really able to get back into the fight when I was able to just surround models with my own stuff and kill them off. So here you see we're getting towards the end of the game. We had a big scrum where I eventually killed off Kirai because he had no more station left, and I was able to easily overpower his Pitiful. Oh, no, he had activated that turn and didn't reactivate Pitiful, so I was just able to take him out with no problem. You can see that the Shikome and the Hanged are hanging out near my Mannequin, Colette, and Cassandra, and on turn 6, I actually won an initiative flip, which was really cool. I think it was the first one of the game that I won. And I was able to just companion. Colette took out the Hanged, and then... Cassandra took out the Hanged, and then Colette disappearing acted the Shikome just to get it out of my face. I used Colette, the Core free duet and Cassandra to move over into that last table corner and take my last couple objectives, so that worked out well. I ended up winning 6 points to 0. I got 1 point for my power ritual, 1 for my breakthrough, and 4 for slaughter, and Chris ended up getting nothing. It was a really good game, really hard fought, and I think it was really enjoyable to play. I'm really glad we did it, but my brain was a little bit melted after that. But it's all worth it. Hope you enjoy it, and